can't mean I'm a lean revolution machine. For what people stay, they sway. For today is good as any day. Y'all feel slightly let's resist. Raise your fist and pump like this. Promises all the time. Cross the line, you know it's mine. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Lefty, let's roll. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Lefty, let's roll.
Good if you got them. I see somebody smoking. I'm about to go smoke. I want to smoke some weed. There's the bong. That's
nice
a great way to start the show.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I've been in pain all day, dude. I haven't even left the house. That's how bad in pain I've been. I've got a crazy muscle spasm here connecting up to my neck and this vertebrae down here. That it's like rock hard. I can't do anything with it. Massage gun doesn't work. Dabbing doesn't work. Edibles don't work. Topicals don't work. Nothing has helped. It's literally rock hard. But like, it's been muscle spasming so much to the point where it's now just become a muscle fucking. Excuse me. It's become a muscle. Damn, the word is slipping me, but it's just rock hard.
You got to see the guy I go to. I saw him today. I haven't seen him in like 2 weeks, and he hurt me. Like he just really dug into like my neck and my lower back, and
yeah.
Oh, I feel so much better.
I honestly am about to go to the sauna. I'm about to go hit a sauna, like 120-degree sauna, dry sauna, see if that helps. You know what I mean? Alleviate a little bit of the issues that I'm having with the inflammation in my muscles and joints lately.
I like the chair in your backyard there. That chair is great for the neck. Stretching out your neck there, opening up all those channels in your neck there. Oh, man.
Especially while medicating to help stretch is what makes it even better. Those wicker chairs are the truth, to be honest.
Ben, what are you smoking a blunt? No, he's not smoking a blunt because he's in the car. He's not smoking. I'm going to smoke, though.
No,
I can smoke in the car, though.
Got nothing on me.
Nothing on you?
Nah, I smoked it already.
Yeah.
I brought a single blunt.
I wore my favorite hat today, Lefty.
Hold on. Farms over pharma.
Yeah, buddy. People don't like when I wear this hat, but hey, I wore it last night to the council meeting on purpose, and I wore it up to when I spoke. I was sweating, but I was like, they're gonna read this shit. They're gonna realize that it's like, no, you're not fucking with the wrong one anymore. You know what I mean? You're gonna find out you're dealing with a cannabis medical patient.
Let's see.
Last night was insane. I think it went really, 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 really well last night. So thanks for coming out. I appreciate that.
I just put the video up on TikTok, and it says the video is under review.
What?
I wonder why it's under review. What did I do?
That was like the
What-
comment. That was like the calmest video I've ever seen you post up on social media, and that of all video gets fucking flagged.
I know. I didn't say nothing. I sang a
Nobody was
song.
cursing. Nobody was cursing. Nobody was even screaming, yelling. Nobody was nothing. It was like you were doing like the calmest of notes of song ever. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you were like yelling at the top of your lungs where they're like, oh, this person's like, copyright infringement of a song and they have to investigate. You know what I'm saying? Like it's nothing that could have like warranted them to pull it. That's the craziest part about it. Like no music, there's no songs, like no, like I said, no copyrighted trademark infringement by any of the music that you were singing or lyrics. Like that's so crazy. Like
It says this video is being reviewed. You can't share it. It's being reviewed right now. That's
imagine somebody from the council. No, I'm just kidding.
I just put it up so we can watch it now. I threw up some captions that I didn't fix the caption. I'm just going to throw one up there real quick so we can watch it here, and I can't even do that. Damn.
Is it still on your Facebook?
No, it's in my phone. I made a edit because I didn't have Facebook on for your mom, so I had to make an edit and add it all together. Great night. I wonder what they were talking about after we left.
So after you left, I ended up getting the attention of a couple council members that were like trying to flag me down to speak on the matter because they live apparently off of Cam Avenue.
Oh.
Yes.
Off
of Cam. Streets off of Cam Avenue that lead to Cam Avenue, and they wanted to voice their concerns as well, as they said, because they live in the neighborhoods. So they were obviously know all about it firsthand, is what they wanted to pretty much, reiterate to me as a person who's getting attacked by road ragers who think they have the right of way, So they're like, we're going to do something about it. So we'll see. They said 3 to 4 stop signs. So we'll see if it actually happens.
They're talking about real stop signs.
Yeah, real stop signs. And
the red ones that go in the ground.
Okay. Correct. Yeah.
It would be a lot quicker and easier to get the stop for pedestrians one. Those can be put out in one day. These other signs, it's going to be purchase order. It's going to be months and months and months of red tape and waiting for those.
Yeah, because they're not going to do that over winter time. They're not going to install those. Yeah. I mean, they might because it's going to be local installing it, but I doubt it. You know what I mean? Because they're not going to make these guys work in the middle of the fucking freezing cold winter to break frozen ground.
You heard the water guy. The water guy says, plan in the winter, build in the summer. Ho, ho. That's what he said.
Yeah. So it's hard to break the frozen ground,
So, yeah, you're not going to work in the winter. You plan it. Plan your attack.
Hey, if I get signs, the pedestrian signs and the stop sign, that'd be a win all over.
Yes.
Because, like I said, this is 2 streets away from a school. Like, you don't think children are going to walk up this way to go home because children don't live 2 blocks away from a school? What? Like, they're going to walk this way. Just like there's not a crossing guard on every single corner to save these children's lives on Cam Avenue. Unfortunately, God forbid something were to happen, But yeah, man, we'll see how it comes apart. Like I said, when I got home last night on the way home, after speaking to the council members, like running a little late, I ended up getting home to having cop cars on the roadway, like sitting there.
Really?
I mean, a little late to be sitting there, for pedestrian, crosswalk, but 9:45 at night and they were out there, so probably slowing down the speeders, Even then, again, like that's the issue is the speeding. You know what I mean? It's exactly what it is. If they stop the speeding for these people to stop for a pedestrian to cross within the crosswalk safely, then yeah, we would negate the fact of having to get the stop sign because they're stopping. So yeah, but if stop sign's even better. You know what I mean? Because the cops can't always be there at the end of the day.
Yeah, great testimony. The one gentleman who had a woman die on his, did she die?
Yeah, that was on Virginia Street. That is the street down the street from the local Main Street roadway.
Wow.
So people come off of, obviously, my town, Main Street goes through and it goes to Sayreville. So people would cut through Virginia, and that was that dead end roadway that I showed you that video of prior to us going. That roadway that was a dead end, with the brand new yellow signs and yellow painting stripes and the brand new, pedestrian crosswalkers, because a lady got killed. I think it was a year or two, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, in front of his house. 3 years ago. Like, she landed on his property from being struck by the vehicle. You know what I mean? Like, on his property, like, is where she ended up from the collision. And then now they're just getting a stop sign like a year ago, not even, less than a year ago, maybe like 5 months ago, 6 months ago, not even. Just this year, they got the stop sign put up. Like, you saw how fresh those paint lines were. They were still brand new, so.
Yeah, those little stop for pedestrian ones are the ones. That's what we need. A couple of those to start with.
You saw it, man. This entire town doesn't have one of them, no matter which intersection you drive through, whether it be a main roadway, a side roadway, or a small roadway. It doesn't matter. There's none. I have never seen one ever, and I drove around on purpose looking for one. Never seen one. Hey, Jim.
What's up?
Snuck in there. I didn't see you.
Yeah, I kind of sneak in now, Fashionably late.
Hella ominous and shit, dude. That was hella scary. He just snuck in there like,
hey. Here I am.
Hey.
Take my boy.
Oh.
How you doing today, Jim?
Oh, not bad. Trying to stay in the groove,
That's something. I'm glad to hear it, man.
Trying to keep
How you doing today, Bear? Now that I see you're not muted, I can actually talk to you. I was gonna ask you how you're doing before, but he's like, "Oh, he's got his mic off. Don't want to bother him. He's probably busy or something."
I'm just moving around and I was listening.
Nice. Getting ready to make some dinner?
I'm about to eat some lunch. I thought about it and realized I don't feel like it. I'll wait till later.
I feel that. What are you gonna eat for lunch?
I had some leftover Chinese food.
Hey, I love me some good Chinese food.
Yeah, I'm about to take y'all in the room in a second to go roll a blunt.
Get it. What are you about to roll up?
I got gelato ice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that shit is nice, but boy, it's a sleeper.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to smoke stuff right now that isn't gonna put me to sleep, because
bro,
I'm trying to stay awake for the podcast instead of falling asleep and tapping out midway through like I did last time. I was like, all right, I gotta go, guys. I wouldn't fucking took a nap.
Shit, a whole sleeper, bro. You smoke a whole blunt of that, you're gone.
Yeah.
You might be up for a little bit, but you out of there after that.
That's how this GMO is, right, Lefty? This GMO that you smoked last night, that fresh press, that stuff will put you, dude, so stanky. But as soon as you dab it, your eyes just go, oh, and they get so heavy, and I'm just like, oh shit, this will put me to sleep.
I don't like it.
That was amazing. Yeah, and I'm gonna smoke some of that guava, the one we hit right before we went to the event, literally right before we went to the council meeting. That fruity one, that fruity flavored guava. See how this one goes. Should wake me up real nice. How you doing today, Lefty? After seeing your friend who tortured you and ended up relocating your muscles for you.
Yeah, I really needed that, man. I was not in good shape today.
Good.
And I'm much better. I'm still in pain, but not like I was, man. Oh, you know how massage is.
Yeah.
Good massage. Woo, it's good for a few hours.
Oh yeah. So I was gonna go for one this morning because when, like I told you, I woke up and I woke up with this cramping already, as I said, like up into my neck, and with it cramping, it started like a knot, and the knot on top of the cramping was like excruciating pain with the knot just like forcing back on the cramp. So I was called my massage place and I was like, yo, please tell me Jenny's in. Like, I need to come in for a 1 hour massage. I just got to come in. I need you to work on my neck. And they're like, no, she's off today. And I was like, damn it. Now I just got to get high all day. I'll just go tomorrow.
I mean, ain't nothing wrong with that either, but yeah.
That's what I'm saying. But, bro, I've been throwing everything at it. It doesn't work. Like, I'm talking like I've finished my RSO. I've like nothing's working. Gummies. I've eaten gummies. I've eaten chocolates, dude. I've taken distillate dabs. I've done multiple rosin dabs. I've done regular BHO dabs. Nothing is working. Flower blunts, infused blunts, nothing. I don't know what the hell's going on, but this thing is like, and now it's like, I literally felt like I had like maybe 300 pounds on my shoulder, and I tried to lift it up, and it's so sore from like trying to like do all this work. I don't get it. I didn't do anything. All it was cramped up, and now it's like super sore. I'm like, oh shit.
Might have slept wrong.
Yeah, I think I slept wrong with the cramping and the knot on top of it is what I fucked it up, because this is the same thing that happened to me in the mountains last week when it got really cold up there in New York State at like 40 degrees. Like the cold. Oh, I'm gonna ice my fucking neck now that I'm awake instead of just sleeping through the cold. I'm just gonna ice my goddamn neck. That might help.
Yeah.
I sometimes prefer heat, sometimes ice, because heat is for short term, ice is for long term.
So I did heat this morning at 5:30 in the morning when I woke up in pain. I used to like lay down on my heated blanket. I rolled it up and laid it under my neck, and nothing, dude. And I even took a hot shower at like 7:30, like 130-degree shower. Nothing. I was like, damn. I'm throwing most of what I got at it, and it's like, nah, dog. That's not how that works today. Oh shit. It's starting to cramp up. Let's not do that.
Tens unit? How about a tens unit? Try your tens.
That's the next one. I'm throwing the tens unit at it next. It just started cramping, throwing ice at it. That sucks.
Fucking patient problems.
Yeah, right.
Fucking patient life. Cannabis patient life 101. Here we go. Because that's what I do. I go to my tens unit. I go to my massager, hot shower. Ice I haven't tried lately. I should try ice.
Well, you know what they say. Speak of the devil, it shall appear.
Right. Actually, I'm gonna mute myself and use my massage gun.
I'm about to say that's personal.
Yeah. You better turn your camera off too, bro.
You don't need to know all that.
Don't get me on the camera.
I ain't say all that.
I didn't say what. You got a dirty mind, bro.
You didn't have to. That part.
I'm gonna have to start an OnlyFans for that. What do you mean? You guys ain't gonna get that for free? No, I'm just kidding.
That's right. That's right.
You gotta pay to see that one.
You got to pay for
See,
that.
The problem with this gun is like it's like super loud because it's like a drywall, a sawzall machine. Like you couldn't hear me even if I tried with this thing on. Like,
Go ahead. Let's hear it. Let's hear how it is. Oh, wow.
Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the sound of relief. That's the sound of ooh, ah, oh, baby. But not too much. Keep that up. Keep it where we can see it. Keep that thing where we can see it, damn it.
To keep it where we can see it.
Hey, did we lose anybody? Oh, no. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know who that is.
yeah, who's Jersey Watcher? Christo the Greek?
Jersey. Yeah, Christo.
He's just in the building chilling. Oh, my.
He's going to stream us to his platforms when he comes back.
Nice.
So if you're in the waiting room, anyone in the waiting room, I can't see you. I'm in the car, so I'll be in a minute.
Nobody's
let you in if you're waiting. I can't see if they're in the waiting room. Can you see? You guys can't see it either.
No, we can't because we're in the show technically.
Yeah,
we'd only be able to see it if we were backstage with them.
Oh, really?
I believe. Yeah, if you're backstage with someone, I believe you can see that they're sitting there waiting too. I believe last time I was in, I could have swore I saw that Jim was waiting to come in last time. I could be stoned and thought it was, but it was just seeing myself, and Jim was actually just live. So I don't know. Don't put it against me because I don't know shit about this technology. I just click the link you send me and I'm in.
Sounds like a plan.
Right, Bear? We just click the link and we get in there. I don't even have a StreamYard account, to be honest. I just, like I said, I just click the link and just go into the webpage.
Yeah, I don't have one either, so whatever.
That's what I'm saying. We just winging it, Lefty.
I'll be there.
Oh, my dog went to go nibble on his fucking blanket. 80-pound pit bull, and he's nibbling on a blanket like a baby.
Leave him alone.
I know. That's what I hate about the stereotype about the breed. It's like, no, they're such a big, manly, scary dog, and I'm like, that is the biggest baby I've ever met in my life.
He's a sweetheart.
He is, right, Lefty? Once he saw you without the mask, he's like, oh, you're cool, and he's like kissing your face and shit. Yeah, he's trained actually to give me kisses. Like if I'm in like a real world scenario where I'm like feeling like my social anxiety is about to come on and like I'm about to have a freak out, he knows it, and he's like supposed to come up, hug me. He puts his paws around my waist and literally brings me down to his face and says, "Come, let me give you a kiss," and it calms me down and he literally just gives me that dopamine rush that I need to like chill me out, you know?
That's dope.
Yeah.
It's dopamine.
It's dope.
That's
Dopamine,
dope.
he's dope for me, you
Amine.
know? You know what I mean? Dopamine.
That's dopamine.
Dope, you know what I mean? It's dope for me, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, man. I think Lefty just froze.
Yeah.
Look.
There we go. What do you got there? Some can of treats?
Nah, this is okay. I
They
make
look like little miniature presents.
I make like little diorama.
Yeah. With the origami and stuff.
Nah,
Oh no, not origami. Okay, I'm sorry.
like that up like with figurines and stuff like that.
Right, out of is that epoxy?
No, these are stuff that I put in this. So this is like Christmas lights for the Christmas tree.
Yeah. The little small tree box, little Christmas presents, right?
Yeah, and it got the little bulbs.
That's pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah, so all this stuff just goes around the tree.
Nice.
I'll see you in a minute.
Oh my god, these dabs are helping so much. I'm gonna keep going. Why am I stopping? When I do dabs back to back to back is when I start getting sweet and weed. The problem is I can never actually sit here and have the amount of patience to get through it back to back to back. So I usually take up big ones, but when I'm on the live with you guys on the podcast, I actually like pace myself a little better, and it ends up working out better. So yeah, it's working out well.
Hey, aloha from Hawaii. All right, aloha.
Hey,
Aaron.
I got people on the west side of Honolulu. I know in Hawaii, I think it's like, what time is it now? 9 a.m. over there? 10 a.m. right now?
Haha, I'm not in Noble Studio anymore.
He's back in the fucking real studio behind the soundboard. Brother, ew.
What's that? What's that, brother?
Let's see.
Top
Anyone?
10 favorite sound clip.
I know, really, totally. This one too.
Mad.
Anybody interested in Hawaiian genetics? Yes, it interests me. It's a subject that interests me greatly. Can we talk about that? Can we talk about Hawaiian genetics? It's Bang Julio. Hello, Bang Julio.
Julio.
What's up, Mikey?
Oh, my camera's off. Hang on. Here I am.
Let's be real. Lefty spends more time in the mobile studio. Shit.
He does though.
I can't argue with that because I like to smoke weed.
The hell are you guys doing?
Dabbing, what are you doing?
Yeah, dabbing. Well, not anymore.
Mikey, what up?
Jim Miller and Hizzy. What's up, brother?
Unmute. Yes. Hello.
Is that Christo in the house too? Christo, what's up, brother?
He's outside doing something. He'll be back in a minute or two.
Doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, he left it on and he just took off. I think we're streaming on his platforms. I'm not sure. It's pretty funny. I love a good smoke sesh in the afternoon. Yes.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I can stop muting my mic when I cough then.
So
Yeah,
tomorrow
that's
is
what
a Edison meeting.
Share a cough, you know?
Oh shit, Bear in the house too. What up, Bear?
What up, homie?
Shalan. Yeah, Edison's tomorrow. You see what they did with the video? They changed a lot around.
I didn't see that.
What they did?
They're not showing the audience now. I wonder why.
Complaints from the audience?
I wonder why.
Really?
You mean wait, hold up, Lefty. You guys didn't talk about this yet?
No.
What? Christo didn't
No,
bring
what
this
happened?
up? Christo
No,
don't tell you about this?
No, what
Jesus
happened?
Christ, man. All right, well, Monday was the workshop meeting, and Christo went to put his mask on, and the council president wasn't in attendance. He wasn't there, so Margot Harris was running the meeting. And when Krista went to put the mask on, she said, she stopped him for a second, and she said, if you put the mask on, I have no problems with it. Just make sure you're speaking clearly so people can hear you. And I wanted to ask Krista, but I guess he's not here right now, why he didn't just leave it on at that moment, because they were giving him the grace, extending him that grace of just, okay, if you want to wear it, just wear it. So they changed their rules on that. They allowed him to wear the mask, but I don't think he wore it. Bottom line is we couldn't see Christo because they wouldn't show the public. The public is no longer filmed. They're not giving they're not giving that. They're not going to allow anyone to have a platform to make their statement powerful. So now it's just the dais. And it's difficult because people with certain disabilities and hearing issues, they sometimes read lips, and it's helpful. It's even helpful for me to see the speaker and you're seeing them talk and you're gauging what's happening. The missing element of seeing people speak on Monday was the most unreasonable thing I've ever seen. Just garbage. So they've changed their tactics. I told you, Lefty, they were going to be emailing each other Thursday morning after Wednesday's meeting. Figuring out how do we go about this? How do we deal with this? So now they're not showing the members of the public. They changed this whole format around.
Interesting.
Yeah, but you knew about it.
Well, I heard about it. I didn't see the video and I didn't know too much about it. I just heard that he was allowed to wear his mask. That's all I knew.
Yeah, they're not showing anyone speaking. So you have no idea what's going on now. So confusing.
That's why we have to film it ourselves. That's why it's important for the public to be able to film these public meetings.
They do whatever they want, man. They do whatever they want.
So what's the plan for the Edison meeting? I'm going to wear a mask from the pharmacy, a facial mask, an exfoliation mask.
And this is why they're not allowing. This is why they've changed the video format.
You're literally gonna pull in there going, "Hello, Clarice," with a fucking facial mask on.
Yo, Paco, think about how smart they're being, though. They're not going to put it on video. They've really made a good move here on their end, even though it's it disrupts the transparency and what is taking place in the moment. But what a great move on their part.
What camera are they showing?
Huh?
What are they showing?
You know how they go back and forth between the dais and then the person speak? Like, all right, they have 3 camera angles normally. The people on the dais, the speaker, and the people on the dais in the background. And then when they switch to the camera angle of just the speaker, they now are only using the one option. The whole meeting is filmed on just the dais. You can't even see the speaker's back of their head. You can't see them at all.
Strange, but I know why they're doing
It's
it.
a smart move. I mean, I hate it, but like, I get it. It's the smartest thing they could have done.
Yeah, because they're still recording it. You know, I'm sure they're still recording in voice, right? They have to by law, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm almost positive that's how they're saving their own fucking asses. Like, we're recording it by voice. We're just having technical video difficulties those times. We don't know. They're gonna pull that bullshit.
Because that normal back angle,
change.
that normal back angle where you would see the speaker talking and the people on the dais, they zoomed up, so the speaker's not in the frame. So you're just looking at the council. So you don't get a good feel of what's taking place because you don't even see the back of the speaker's head anymore.
That's what I liked about South River last night, is that they had a camera guy in the middle, dead middle of the room, back center, and he would literally record every single person speaking, even if they weren't speaking on public turn, like even speaking out of the crowd. You know what I mean? He would literally
they have somebody filming those meetings in South River.
They had a guy in the back, literally.
They broadcast it.
I'm not sure if they broadcasted that. I don't know, but I know it was recorded, video recorded.
At least they're filming them, because then they're all operable. But
they weren't recording video, which Lefty brought up to attention to them, and then they said, "Oh, the mic is broken." I'm like, "So why don't you fix it before the meeting? What do you mean?"
Yeah, the public mic was not working.
Seen that before.
That's a good trick.
Yeah, seen that one before.
Game. Yeah, seen that.
We've seen that many times, actually.
No, we didn't hear what you said. We misinterpreted what you said, or we don't have it on record. Bullshit.
Or not even that. Just business as normal, and then no one at home heard, and then it's just like, oh, it's over. We don't know what was said because we couldn't hear the speaker, so nothing actually happened. So
the camera had a boom mic on it, which is nice. Had a fucking fat, probably I'd say, size of a water bottle.
One of my favorite uses of public tax dollars is making those fat video edits from that councils that tape them.
Paying that guy $50 an hour.
I'm trying to get
$50 an hour to edit it. Literally, just to have a guy edit it for $50 an hour just to give it back to him. The same guy who recorded it and fucking works for him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it'd be a dog eat dog world, and I'm trying to get my bite. Those are good video things to cut from.
Yeah. They have good sound. They have good video.
They have great sound and great video.
Yeah, we want that.
Lefty, did I tell you what? Did I spoke to the guy who was like rushing the open commenting last night? The council member.
Yeah,
I spoke to him
trying to get
afterwards.
around a disabled person. Yeah, you saw him afterwards.
The last 3 disabled people of the night, and he's rushing us. Like, bro, chill out. That's why I said something. I'm like, bro, calm your horses, bro. Chill out. Even the mayor laughed. He snickles.
Second call. Third call, and you're trying to walk around a disabled person, like
an old geriatric man. Like, this guy was. I hate to call him geriatric, but realistically, he was in his 70s, 80s, easy, like in a
walker.
Literally, like I'm literally like talking like in a walker, disabled gentleman, like literally. And
he's rushing.
I was like rushing. He's like,
nobody
else. And I'm like, you don't see me standing here. I'm the biggest person in the room. Like, what do you mean? Like, I'm not easy to miss. And he's like, oh, I didn't see you. And I'm like, how do you not see me walking past a gentleman walking in a walker? Common sense is you see a man walking in a walker, is you give it patience, bro. Like, you don't have to rush and wrap it up to get home. Like, we all want to speak and get out of here. We don't all want to be here,
Poor situational awareness.
That's what it was. But then I apologized to him. I was like, listen, I didn't mean to get snappy at you. I'm in a lot of pain from my arthritis and like, sitting here dealing with this. I don't want to have to be here. He's like, no, I get it. He's like, I didn't see you walking around the guy. I'm sorry. And I'm like, no, I get it. I was like, I was just trying to get up and move fast enough without knocking the old man over. He's like, no. He's like, I get it. He apologized.
You should have blocked him.
I apologized.
Take him out.
I know, right? I should have been like, yo, get out of my way, old man. I'm trying to speak in a public comment.
My turn.
Get out of my way. Like, I'm not gonna power steam, powered.
You took 9 minutes. He did. He took 9
drive that
minutes.
man. Yeah, defensively drive that man to the fucking hole just to
They
get
got
up
10
to the
minutes,
mic.
Mikey.
How much time
10
did they
minutes they
get?
get.
10 minutes.
That was just what I was asking. How much time did they get? 10 minutes?
Yes.
They're allowed
Get
10
outta
minutes
here.
per person.
I know.
I think I used 4 minutes, if my time, if that, maybe 3.5.
10
4.
minutes?
I
Yo,
know.
shout out to the towns like South River who are giving members of the public adequate time to voice themselves. Give them more time than they need.
Yeah,
And most people need to speak. That's how you do it. The only town that ever did better than that was Oceanport. No time limit. None.
Oh,
Yeah.
what?
None.
Yeah.
None, baby.
Hell.
You want to get government? You want to voice your opinion? No time limit. Best meetings ever. Shout out to Oceanport, New Jersey.
They still do that, you
I'm-
think? You think they still do that?
I doubt it.
What was the question, Lefty?
No, I was asking if you think they still do that in Oceanport, because
To
that
be
is-
honest, Jim, I don't think they still do that. I don't know that for a fact. I just
would-
assume that over time these things change and they all go the same route.
I would assume right off there's somebody that's going to have a grievance one time and take advantage of that. I know I would if I felt like it.
We
And
played
and
3
filibuster
songs.
them right into the evening, and then they go, okay, that didn't. You know,
During
it's
our
like-
Christmas, we were in the paper, the head of the Monmouth Star, when I was dressed as North Pole Holio and Lefty was dressed as Jesus. We played 3 songs for them because we had no time limit. We called it after the 3rd song because we were like, I guess we should.
Wow.
I'm surprised they allowed you to go for 3. I'm surprised they didn't stop you at 2 because you know how
Well, we had a
these guys are
history with that
fucking-
council. The mayor was pretty liked us too.
Unfortunately
I
for me, I mean, it's not unfortunate. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Lefty.
No, go ahead. I just don't think Jay likes me anymore. Jay loves me.
Well, Jay's also not the mayor anymore, and they have a new building, and that's why I think that they probably did away with the no time limit. Things have
Because
changed.
I could be costing them money in Bayonne doing what I'm doing.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
He hasn't talked to me anymore. When I see him in the hallway, he's like, "Oh, I'm late for a meeting." He's always late for a meeting. Hey, meet with me. I'm your constituent, even though he's a town attorney.
He's like the rabbit on Alice in Wonderland. I'm late. I'm late. I'm late. I'm
Always
late. I'm
busy.
late.
Busiest guy in the world. Best hair ever. Best dressed, best hair ever. It's a nice guy.
Yeah,
I yelled at him once. I felt bad.
I have a photo of his hair.
What
Took a
for?
photo of just his hair.
How can you miss it? He's always had those luscious locks, as Mary always says.
I don't believe I've ever used the word luscious in my life.
Yeah, well, then you ain't never seen a nice booty.
Oh, no, I have a lot of other adjectives that work a little more accurately, actually, probably. Yeah, I'm not going to share. No.
Is it luscious, L-U-C, or luscious, L-U-S-H, like a lush? You're being luscious.
Yeah, CIOUS or something.
Luscious
Is
is
this-
selectable.
Is this a closed recording right now, or is this online?
No, we're live for
we are?
millions and millions and millions and millions of nobodies.
Yeah, we're just
No, we
a whole bunch of people who don't care, though. You know.
Yeah, no, I wasn't sure.
Now we got 4 people watching. Hello, shout out to our 4 friends who are probably our moms and dads.
No, I was going to mention something, but not online.
Okay.
I hold my tongue back a lot, to be honest, because we're always online.
Well, yeah.
But what I was gonna say about earlier was, luckily for me, as like I'm not on the bad side of the mayor of my town. So last night's council meeting went well, even though I was like very, I don't want to say aggressive, but I was like a little stern with my deliverance of my message. You know what I mean? Like I fucking sent it home. You know what I mean? Like I was like, no, man, I'm not playing about my life.
You were assertive, as you should have been.
Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. Even the council member who stopped me after the meeting, he's like, "I'm sorry that you had to go through that. You should never have to go through that as a resident of this borough. We should have had a stop sign there." And I'm like, "Yo, the fact is that you know that I shouldn't be getting attacked by road ragers because I have the right of way as a pedestrian, and you know that, and there still isn't a stop sign or a pedestrian sign there is crazy to me. But thank you for recognizing that. That's exactly what I told him. I was like, I appreciate it.
That crazy road rager lives right behind your house.
Mm-hmm. Next street over.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awkward.
And then as soon as I told the council member and showed the council member the video of that person attacking me, and then telling him that the police didn't charge him and didn't charge him with assault for assaulting me or my animal, his face dropped. I've never seen a man like in that much shock. He was just like, "Excuse me," and I was like, "0 consequences for the person who attacked." He was like, "So this man almost ran you over, attacked you and your animal, and still didn't get charged?" And I'm like, "Yes, sir." I was like, "The cop said they cannot charge him because they didn't see it happen." I was like, "So you're telling me if I murder someone and run, you guys can't charge me with murder?" And they're like, No, that's not how that works. I'm like, oh, the script is flipped now. You know what I mean? See how that worked?
Like, yeah, because you didn't see it.
No.
I didn't.
Yeah, you didn't see it, but it so happens to be a bunch of murder warrants out for people, and it just so happens that they get arrested daily. How is that possible? But because it's a misdemeanor, because it's a misdemeanor, not a criminal offense. You don't hold anyone responsible for it. That's just lawlessness and disorder. At that point, I'm just gonna go around doing whatever I want, misdemeanor, like with fake license plates and doing whatever I want. And catch me if you can, suckers. Like, no, it's
Well, you wouldn't be able to because we're not created equally.
unfortunately. I wasn't gonna go there, but thank you for bringing that up. Like,
Yeah, I mean, let's just be real. It's not land of the free, and it's not, everybody having equal rights. Nobody's equal. Nobody ever was. And rather than strive toward that reality, first thing we need to do is embrace that. We all have different freedoms. We all have different rights. I have a black friend at work with me, and he sees the activism I do, and every time he's just, nope, I couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. Nope, wouldn't happen like that if it was me. Every time he watches one of my videos, he's like, nope, I'd be arrested. Nope, can't be done. I understand the power of white privilege. And that's part of why I'm able to push councils the way I am.
As an
and that's being real.
As an Afro-Latino who is of fairer complexion, I do get away with a decent amount considering due to my complexion. But I still do face a decent amount when people find out that I am my last name, and they're like, "Oh, what are you, some sort of cartel member?" And I'm just like, "Here we go." That's
the real of it all. That's where it all reduces to.
I'm a criminal of some sort. That's what you've gotten stereotypically in your mind because I'm Afro-Latino from the Caribbean. Like, okay, like whatever you want to think, like, okay. But yeah.
And I don't even buy that we were all created equally. That's where the start of it is from. None of us were created equally. You should look at the person as next to you and not above or below you, but nobody was created equally. What separates all of us from each other is where we were geographically born, the finances in our family, and the power and the resources that come along with your last name or what have you.
And cultural aspects. That's literally
we're not created equally.
Literally, that's it. But like, and the craziest part, dude, it's funny you bring that up, Mikey, because I spoke to a council member last night. He approached me, another one. He was like, "Listen, man, you brought up a lot of valid points, and I think you do really well for like, neighborhood watch." And I'm like, excuse me? And I was like, do you know statistically Neighborhood Watch has victimized people of color like myself and black people because I'm Afro-Latino? I told him straight up, I'm Afro-Latino, and Afro-Latino people and black people have been victimized by Neighborhood Watch people, and I don't think that's something that should be rolled out in this town. I was like, unfortunately, statistically, this town predominantly white, and I don't want some white neighbor calling on me because I'm smoking a joint, walking my dog with a fucking hat on, looking like I'm suspicious. Please do not start that. And he's like, well, no, that's why I would like for you to help. And I'm like, but it's not my job to patrol the neighborhood. That's the police's job. And he stopped and he said, I get what you're saying. Have a good night. And I was like, yeah, thank you. I'm not going to do the police's job.
Yeah, I can pay for that.
Exactly. It's like, I'm not going to volunteer to put my life on the line to like literally follow somebody down the street with a flashlight and ask them what they're doing and call the cops. Like, no.
Right after that moment, an armed recruiter walks up to you. Hey, Paco, we're going to enlist you, man. You sign right here. We're going to get you to war. We're going to give you guns, bombs. You're going to have it all, baby. We're going to blow shit up. Are you in?
Honestly, I wish I took the opportunity to get in the military back when I was younger. I probably would have done some crazy shit. But yeah, I my problem is that I have a problem with authority, so I wouldn't have gone over well in the military.
Yeah, that's what activism has always served me as a productive tool. You know, my problem with authority figures it was principals, parents, teachers, you know, fucking police, principals, you know, and then as I've gotten older, this is my way of taking my power back. Now I get to be the adult,
Sticking it to the
and I
man.
get to tell other so-called adults what's right and wrong. I get to fix all the problems that weren't fixed for me. And it's a powerful tool to take that back in life. And that's what council meetings do for me. That's why it serves a purpose for or how I live my life now.
Well, like, honestly, to speak on that, what you're speaking on now, it was very empowering. Knowing that council members wanted to come and speak to me about something that I orchestrated with Lefty for that evening. And they're like, no, come here, I want your opinion. And I'm like, what do you need my opinion for? It's just a stop sign, put it up. And he's like, no, what happened? And then they were asking me for videos and pictures. And I'm like, yeah, I showed them the video of Lefty in the intersection and the lady almost getting creamed by an SUV because they didn't want to stop while she's crossing the intersection with a stroller with a child in it.
Well, you know what? Those people are the smarter of the people that are in government because you catch more flies with honey than vinegar. And anytime I've ever had a council person respect me or come to me and stuff, it immediately disarms me. And now I'm like, well, I don't want to do anything bad to this guy anymore. Now you're a human on a human being level, being kind. Okay, this changes everything. Now I kind of don't have my target on you. So it does amaze me that people don't even know how to fake it. Because if you can fake it, at least you're being well-rounded in the way you're conducting business. Most people don't even bother faking it or whatever. But when you're nice and you open the communication with people and when they bring up concerns and stuff, you're just helping the situation when you're on that end by doing so. So that's nice that those people are smarter than the average people, Paco.
Here's the funny thing, though, is that I agree with you, but I also kind of was like taken back by it because the only two people that came to speak to me were the council members that were up for election this year.
Yeah. No, it's all. I don't want to sound negative, but it's all smoke and mirrors.
I don't want to sound negative.
No. You're keeping it real. Thank you for providing those facts because now that transitions me into saying it's all lies. Even when they do that, their actions are supposed to show. It's all bullshit. You're never going to be told the truth. It's never going to happen. Every time you get your heart brushed up over somebody's words, they've played you. Make sure you play them harder. Make sure you understand exactly what's happening. Make sure that you're always having the upper hand, that whole thing. But I maybe 99.9% of the time was lied to. Actions didn't follow through with the words. And that's what you get now. This is why my activism is taken such an unhinged approach because a lot of it hasn't really met the open line of communication other than just when someone lies to you over and over and over. You know, I went to South Amboy last Wednesday and I figured I wanted to mention to them the importance of a few things, of remaining anonymous. They never gave me problems on it. I didn't film it because I didn't want them to feel like they were having a gotcha moment. You know, I wanted to express to them why the activism has been so important in terms of rights for the disabled, disability access. You know, I told them about how I went to Brielle back in 2019 just to find out that 3 people who had medical devices to assist them to get into the building weren't able to get in. You know, I explained that to them. I explained to them the need of the Zoom meetings and why it was so important. Being that Jeff Folks' last meeting he took part in was on his deathbed. You know, I mentioned all these things without a camera to try to make sure their guard was down. At one point, I started to tear up, and one lady on the council was like gravitating toward every syllable of what I was saying. And I tried to explain to them that that's where the energy's coming from. You know, we've seen a lot of our sick and dying friends, you know, be written off completely, and to not have Zoom access to a town that doesn't have access to the police station, no wheelchair access, doesn't have access to the post office. Providing Zoom access would be maybe something you guys should think about, since you already knew how to do it. You've already done it. You know, I tried to echo Lefty's fight with the whole Zoom access to South Amboy, and none of them gave a shit. The one guy who spoke before public time, he had mentioned an ADA ordinance involving handicap parking and how out of date it was. So I piggybacked off of what he had said because they opened up public time right after that. I was the only one who spoke. It was a 30-minute meeting, and a guy ran out the door, and I ran right after him, followed him down the stairs, made sure that he was forced to bring up what I just said. And he said, "Oh, I agree with everything that you're saying, this and that, blah, 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 you know." And I just told him straight up that you're lying to me, you're bullshitting. You may believe in it, but you're not going to do anything about it. Your actions will speak louder than your words.
Mm-hmm.
And carry on, my fella. I absolutely killed him, man. I did such a great job, and it's nice to know, because it was just I hit them where they needed to be hit, but ultimately I don't think it did anything. It's something for me, but I don't think it was effective. And it's a shame, because sometimes blowing their spot up is way more effective, and it's a shame that it has to be like that.
It's crazy because like like I said, before you hopped on, there was another street here in my town that's a dead end that they put yellow stripes in the center of the roadway and a stop sign in the middle of the roadway and made it a 4-way stop because a woman died there like 2 to 3 years ago in front of this property where she was hit by this vehicle and landed on the property where the guy petitioned to have a stop sign. And I get it, it's a speedster road as well, double wide like mine is and stuff, and like everybody starts speeding down that road because it's a cut through. I get it. But this is now 2 years later after the death that they're now putting the stop sign and getting the streets painted up. So it's like it may take a while, but we may get it sooner, sooner than later, because at the end of the meeting, the mayor was like, "Yeah, we hear you, Cam Avenue, so we're going to give you 3 to 4 stop signs."
Let me ask you this, Paco. The guy that came up to you, did anybody mention? Did anybody respond to the fact of having a stop sign there? Like, did that get personally discussed after you? Yes. I didn't see the video, but because that would be very easy.
So after we left, one of the council members that approached me, 2 of them, they both live off of the roadway that we're protesting, Cam Avenue. One of them lives off of the roadway, and the other one lives off of like a second turn off of the roadway. So you got to make a right off the roadway and another right. So he like has to frequent the roadway. And one of them was like, "Get out of there. Sorry about that. My dog." Oh shit! I knew you were gonna find that. Sorry about that. My dog found his toy and he goes crazy for these things. So like I was saying, go please. Like I was saying, the guy was like, "Listen, like I get literally like tailgated down Cam Avenue," and he's like, "Oh, the problem is that this is how I know he was bullshitting me." He's like, "The problem is that they're out of towners that are driving through," and I'm like, "Yeah, because Cam Avenue is the only roadway that goes from Old Bridge Turnpike straight to Whitehead Avenue, which connects to Bordentown Avenue. So people are going to South Amboy, Sayreville, all those area down Bordentown Avenue. So it's a cut through." And he was like, "Yeah, no, it's a lot of people from out of town." And I'm like, "No, the person who attacked me is a local. Literally lives right behind me. So it's not just a problematic issue with just people speeding through our towns and it's just the fucking out of towner. No, this is like, even the cops have told me conflicting stories where the cops are like, it's the locals. What do you want me to do?" And I'm like, "I'm a local. Protect me." What do you mean? So,
It's a weird thing to claim to even know, to be like, yeah, it's actually not the people from town doing it. It's weird. It's weird to even claim that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I get it because you're like, backing up my theory of it being the cut through and bypass roadway. But the fact is that you're still like, how do you know this information? You're just now just like blowing smoke up my ass to like kind of like deter me from like wanting to get this stop sign sooner than later because, oh, it's just a bunch of people driving through. Oh, well, let me let it pass. Like, no, that's not how that works, dude. My life is in jeopardy every time I cross the street.
Now I so much more appreciate living in Rancocas Woods, which nobody passes through. You don't pass through it on your way anywhere. You go in and then you come back out.
Hey, Mikey, have you driven 18 lately?
Have I did what?
Have you driven Route 18 lately?
Yeah, every now and then I drive it. Yeah.
You know how they have like all that construction and shit?
Yes. Yes.
So everybody and their mother is like nose bombing off of Route 18 to avoid that, and that's why they're coming down my street. So ever since the construction started, it amped up the amount of traffic of people driving through.
Okay. Yeah, because I know that area. So as you're talking about it, I'm trying to visualize it.
So okay, so you know where the East Brunswick Mall is, right?
Yeah.
You know when you keep driving past it, and there's that Aruga's, which is that new restaurant that opened up at the end of like the Acura dealership.
Yeah.
And you know how that turn off to go to Bordentown Avenue to go to South Amboy? People take that Main Street Bordentown exit.
I know exactly.
So that's been crazy backed up since the construction started. So people have been avoiding that and cutting through my street, which ends up going to Bordentown Avenue. You know?
The guy, I think I did that even once or twice, to be honest.
Yeah, but I'm saying like, you weren't speeding through here doing 50. And then
no, I know, but it makes sense because I know that construction's been going on for a while.
2 years now, roughly, since I moved back from the West Coast.
It's been going on for a while.
And it's going on for another 3 or 4, I think. Because they're making up for the water line and sewer supply for the 3,000 residences that they just put up in apartments right off the roadway behind Dick's Sporting Goods.
That's a popular roundabout. Every now and then, usually when I'm there, I see a homeless person with a sign asking.
There and over by Chase, which is like Arthur Street by Bank of America between.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I got beeped at the other day because I slowed up and rolled the window down. So just give $1. Only $1, and the guy behind me was sped around me. Whoa.
I'll never understand like what the hell is the beef of having compassion for someone lesser, like who's going.
I felt bad that I only had like $1 that I could give, but I wanted to make sure that his sign was heard. You know,
but I usually give him weed. I'd be like, "Yo, you smoke weed?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "All right, man, here, it's gonna make your day better, dude. Here you go." And I usually give him like a joint or some flour or something. I'll be like, "Here you go, man. Just smoke through it."
You make sure
I don't really carry cash on me.
Make sure I have almost always have a couple of dollars in my console because I'm heading out north out of Trenton, and there's 2 spots where you get a light, especially on the way out. You know, time I'm there, and there's most always going to be somebody at the first stop, and they wait till traffic stops and they walk up and beaten down, and then traffic starts and they walk back. And it's not like the very first time I noticed that I went out of my way to do anything about it. But then I found that the one time I thought, okay, and I was ready, and I had $1, it brought real joy to that person, and I'll tell you, either they could also be a really great actor, and maybe they're making, they could be making more money than you do. All the stuff you're going to hear doesn't matter to me. See, I know how I felt after I did that, and then I know how I feel if I don't. So in the end, it's about me. I say that, I don't know if I'm being real about that or not, because it does. But the one time I really had a good time was a good time in Trenton, and had probably something to do with lots of dabs that Lefty had. Or so I remember, so I had my harmonica on my neck piece, and I don't have a radio, so I was just like lean back and playing a harmonica, and it was a woman this time. It's usually a guy, and she looked more beat up than anybody, and she came by and I had like $2. It was fun because I was like leaning that way, and when I gave it to her, I didn't stop playing. She smiled, and I know she could tell I was smiling even though I was playing, so I didn't stop what I was doing, and it really seemed to brighten up her day for $2 fucking dollars, Yeah, hey, though, but for the grace of God, as other people put it, but I say other natural causes. So go I, or also I will,
Yeah, I know what you mean by when you say the thing like, could they be acting or this and that? I mean, your brain goes to every different place, and you've seen those videos, or you've seen people where sometimes they'll be like an Indian woman with 2 kids, and they'll have a sign that say, help me feed my family. And sometimes that gives out signs as this could be an act. This could be whatever. You know what it comes down to me with that whole thing? Even the people who are doing it as an act, right? Even them.
Yeah.
What you just said was your takeaway from giving $1 or $2 gave you some personal reward. So that part hasn't been lost.
Yeah.
That's the payoff. It's not about the $1 or $2. Someone put some time and effort, even if it was a hoax or just something like that. They compelled you to dig into your heart and to dig into your pocket. That started from digging at your heart. So I'm good with that too.
Yeah.
I'm good with someone presenting a situation like that to someone, even if it ain't true.
It's err on the side of caution. That in a toss-up case, okay, that's always good, and not even in a toss-up sometimes. But
you can tell when someone's home.
When I was spending regular time between when Cheryl died and her memorial in Washington, I think it was like 8 Wednesdays in a row. I went down there and worked on arrangements with the groups helping out. And there's a Burger King right where National Normal's office is. And I went in, I was like really hungry and long ride back, so I brought myself 2 Whoppers. And there's a guy just sitting there, and he's got like a cup out like for change. And I really didn't have any money. That was all my money. But I felt like really lucky because when I said, well, listen, he's outside Burger King. The assumption is, oh, look, the guy needs something to eat. So I said, hey, listen, man, I got no money, but you can have this one, one of these. And he looked so relieved, like it was the real deal. So I felt good for not just bugging out, with my dinner. On the other hand, though, one time I was in Fort Lauderdale. He saw this little waif of about 7 years old. A dog got hit by a car and needed to raise money for the vet bills and all that. And I didn't have squat. And I ended up making sure I had $5. And it was like $1977. I don't know what that's worth now. And then I hear, like the next day, this lady was arrested because she had 2 kids and she was having them walk up to people's door. Oh no, it wasn't even donating. It was you buying a cookie for $1. It was like, you get a whole bunch of cookies that are the size of a silver dollar. Not famous Amos or nothing. And you know what it is. It's like, wow, extra effort, trying to offer something, and so I don't feel bad about that because like I didn't get beat. It was like just a case of somebody like, I don't do this good evil thing, but if I did, I would call that an evil person who would have their.
No, but it does happen, and there's some people who use their children, which serve as the worst example for a child. When
again, though, if I'm left riding away or walking away with okay, that's not going to change anything in my life at all, not even a little bit, and I know that, and it doesn't matter. I mean, it's the the times you get it right. Is one thing, but if you ever found out you got it wrong and you weren't there when it could have been so simple.
I don't think you ever get it wrong, I guess is the point that I'm trying to make. I don't think you can ever get it wrong. If you've ever heard of a story of somebody jumping in a Mercedes afterwards, I'm sure if first off, if you think that's the deception that you've been confronted with and how outrageous that version of deception is, that doesn't even it's not even on the radar. It doesn't even show up on the blip of deception and human behavior and what all is going on or whatever. I ultimately it comes back down to when that's happening, it's a play on your emotions, whether the person is faking it or not, or if they're actually homeless. It's a moment for you to either absorb or not, and then decide. It's just if there's some self-fulfilling in helping others, because it does help yourself when you help others. There's an insurance at the end of the day that helps you sleep better at night, all this stuff. So it ultimately comes back. That's why I'm saying I have no problem with, even if the person was acting, because at the end of the day, I mean, everything's up. They're playing on your heart. It's up to you to do. I don't think most people spend their time doing that if they have money to jump in a Mercedes, and I just don't think that even happens.
To be honest, that happened here in East Brunswick.
Yeah, when I had
in Sayreville, I believe there's a lady who everybody calls her out on Facebook for doing it. And she brings her kids.
It's the same one. It's
the same one.
It's the same one.
Might be this. Yeah, it might be. Yeah.
It's the same exact lady. So they called her out on it because apparently she gets into a Mercedes SUV
Yep.
that she parked behind the bank parking lot. It's like a green Mercedes ML or something like that, a green SUV Mercedes. Old, don't get me wrong, it's not like brand new, but it is like a 2009, 2010. It's like an older model. Regardless,
You know why I hate those stories though, Paco? I know they're out there, right? But I hate those stories because they make people, they comfort people for having no compassion for others. They see
Yeah.
that and they go,
I mean, don't get me wrong.
I knew I should never care about no one else, you know?
Don't get me wrong. Me being a tow truck driver for 16 years in the state of New Jersey, New York City, and most of the East Coast, I had my fair share of experiences of people like running off and buying drugs and alcohol as soon as I give it to them, understandably. So I don't give out money at all anymore. I'll give out loose change where it's not significantly enough to like ruin their lives. But when I was a tow truck driver, and I still do this now, I always pack extra food. So I'll have extra sandwiches, extra lunches, and I'll just be like, all right, this is your choice. Either you're going to get food or you're going to get a joint from me. That's it. There's no other hard drugs, no money. Like, I don't do that. So, like, as a tow truck driver, that's what I did. I just handed out sandwiches and, like, you know, cans of Chef Boyardee with easy Pop Tops. Like, you can eat that cold anywhere. You know what I mean? It doesn't change the fucking food or anything.
Even if it's a scam. Okay, and that lady that we're both talking about or whatever, she's been doing this for a few years, and she's well known.
Even before I moved to Oregon, she was doing it here in East Brunswick before I moved to Oregon.
At the end of the day, I still have way more respect from someone who's right out of the front, just with like, here's my presentation. This is what I got going on. I got kids. I can't help feed them or whatever. This is what I want from you as a person. I respect it so much because you didn't waste my time. You didn't even waste a second. You didn't plan my emotions for more than just this one moment. And people enter each other's lives and they keep you around because you serve a purpose for them to some degree, whether they help fulfill your things in life that matter to you, or whether they want something from you because you can provide for them. This is the basic fundamentals of human being interaction. So even that lady, she didn't waste my time for 1 second. She put it all out there. I think she's known to even be known as doing that. I don't think it's an interesting way to go about stuff. But at the end of the day, everybody wants something from you or people or others. And hopefully it's for the right reasons. And that's why it's important to keep people in your life that are good people who aren't there to just use you or this and that or whatever. But, you know, this is how human beings interact.
I have one instance that was really bad, and that was in Oregon. So when I was living in Oregon, obviously the homelessness in Oregon is very rampant and very bad due to the heroin epidemic and obviously legalization of all drugs. So people were just like, yo, you got change, whatever. One time I was leaving a grocery store and, you know, living on out there, I'm like, all right, I'm from the East Coast, so I'm a little grittier, you know what I mean? I'm fine, you know what I mean? I'm a New York City boy, I'll be good. I had one guy literally throw change back at me. One. In my entire life of helping people. One guy, he said, I don't want no fucking change. What do I look like? And I'm like, a person who needs it? Like, yes, you need this, bro. Like, you are literally strung out on meth in front of like a, you know, equivalent to a 7-Eleven. And he's like, I don't want no fucking change. You got any money? And I'm like, that's ridiculous. And I walked off. I'm like, yeah, I'm not giving you shit now. And that was the only time I've ever had an interaction where the guy was just, I'm probably strung out on something, which is why he was being a fucking asshole about it. But still, regardless, I'm just like, what? I literally gave you the loose change out of my pocket, which I never, ever had because I always use cards. Like,
those are the people that need the help the most, you know, and mental health can get you. No one's ever, when someone is in a position where they're refusing to refusing to accept help from anyone, that tells you a lot about the life that they've lived and the shit that they got going on. And those people need help the most. They don't know how to go about helping themselves. And I could even almost relate to like that whole concept myself or whatever, with not accepting help from others and this and that. And it becomes like those are the people who need it the most, the ones who need to be willing to accept help from others. Nobody can do anything on their own, really. There's always help from others along the way.
There's a lot of those people who didn't want the help. That's the craziest part. Like with the legalization of that, like, excuse me, decriminalization of almost every single drug in Oregon, it opened up the floodgates for like every single addict. Most of the addicts in the country came running to Oregon and camping out everywhere, which is why the homeless camping situation they said was like that of they compared it to LA Skid Row. So it's like, oh, it's almost as bad as an open air market, blah blah blah. And that was the thing, is the cops were literally not processing people as they should have with that. Like if you got arrested for it, you were supposed to go to rehab. They would just let them go. It's like, okay, go. Like, go. And they wouldn't wholeheartedly do their job. They would just say, go ahead and do, this is your choice. You want to live vagrantly, go ahead. And they would just move on to the next call and move on to the next call and move on to the next call. And it's, you saw it repetitively, and it made it worse, the situation. You know what I mean? Instead of actually giving those people that actually needed those helps, who were going through those psychosis issues and like needing actual medical intervention. You know what I mean? But it's sad that that's the way it ended up. That's why they reversed it. Oregon ended up reversing that, and they repealed it.
Yeah, and I don't think the concept or the approach was a failure by any means, even though they wound up reversing it. I think big problems need big solutions, and somewhere in the middle is some fine line, and that's a big change of like thinking or how to approach things. But if it was just in the confinements of, if people didn't start moving in and it didn't turn into, you know, what Kensington is there's a 4-block area in Philadelphia where it's open air. It's no bus zone. No bus zone. Cops refuse to come into that area unless they have to. Ambulance won't come into that area unless they have to.
Mm-hmm.
And you can just legally use drugs, buy, sell. And that's how they've decided to contain their problems, since they don't know how to control it. So when people start flooding in from outside areas, and it's a big thinking, but on small scale, you can't compete with all of the other I mean, you know, something needs to be done. So, I mean, I think it was a winnable way of going about something. You know, I think people need to stop prosecuting people for drugs and just possession and stuff like that. We're doing nothing about mental health. Mental health is at the most crisis it's ever been. And it's largely ignored and stigmatized. And a lot of people don't know how to fucking deal with it.
Yeah. That's the biggest thing. It's like when I was out there in Oregon and it was legalized, I literally went to my doctor and I said, hey man, I'm going to be honest with you. I microdose with psilocybin daily and it helps me with my depression. So he was like, okay, no problem. Let's just set you up with a therapist. And he set me up with a therapist that was for microdosing psilocybin. So some of them are on board with it and like, yeah, let's do it. Let's get you situated and get the help you need. And then they ended up putting me with a therapist who, you know, pretty much went over with like what I did daily as far as my microdose and how it made me feel and stuff like that. It was great. And like I said, that when they want to help, they're there to help. But the problem is that disconnect from criminalizing people to actually wanting to help people. It's just like fine line of like that. I hate to say police work. It's what it boils down to, because they're the ones on the front lines, and they're not social workers. So at the end of the day, they're just like clean up the streets, get it moving, and that's it. Going to the next call, you know. But I'm just glad it's coming more to light that these things are more used as medication and not ways to criminalize people anymore.
You know, yeah, I don't know how anybody can stay on an even keel with all the impossibilities to clean up, but you're right, you do have to do something. But if that's all you do, it's going to end up having a negative effect cumulatively on your efforts as a whole if you don't have a way to just touch a better area in your head. And I found a way to do it. Just never gets old for me. And it's on YouTube. It's not just that people give money to somebody who needs it. It's the few that do it as a social experiment where they pretend to be down and out and they need $1 or $2, whatever. And they for lack of a better word, panhandle, you know, nicely, you know, not be, and you know, then somebody else is filming, because a lot of times it's sponsored, meaning that you can see so many people, especially in the better areas of town, when people could afford to do something. I mean, and it wouldn't matter at all. And then it turns out that they'd ask that of somebody themselves, like doing something like not panhandling to get money. And to say, if I had $2, I could get a taco, right over here. And then somebody with nothing will end up giving the social experiment guy here, and that's my last money, and you're welcome to it. And it blows me away that somebody would do that. But then, of course, the good part is, no, I'm not going to take your $2 as a matter of fact, blah, 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 blah. And then they lay $1,000 on them or something. So it's somebody that so simply does, and then they are so generously blessed is the term they use, And man, it never gets old. I can watch the same thing a week later. But simply taking the time, it's an immediate change of a head trip for you cannot watch that sort of thing. And then the one I really liked was people coming out of a food store with shopping carts of stuff, and guys are, I'm just hungry. Could I have, and then if they, no, I'm sorry, I can't help you out. They'd be like, well, do you have something already that, because I'm really hungry. And, it's not done in an obnoxious way, but of course, I'd never seen that before. And I thought, well, that's a pretty, you're just going to get some food, then you must be hungry, right? I mean, if you actually, but of course, most people get annoyed. And then what the guy does is he ends up paying for your groceries, No, I'm sorry. But the one guy is, well, I don't, you can have my potato chips. No, my potato chips, that shit's like $3 or something anyway, But right after one lady was really obnoxious, she noticed that because she didn't get away from the sphere quick enough. And she actually went back to him and said, well, here, I have this you could have. Like he would turn around and buy. Oh, he was like, oh, no, you just want something for yourself now. No, you had a chance, and you ridiculed me or whatever. And I don't know. I mean, I already feel better now just thinking about it. I don't want to bring it up because everything you guys are saying is spot on. But oh man, I'm still on the long. I need something that's possible. So anyway, just seeing some of the genuinely good people. I mean, geez, one guy also down on his luck. The other guy, I forget what it was, but he didn't have any shoes. And the guy literally giving him his shoes. He goes, no, I got $2. I mean, he's got all his belongings over wherever he had them right there. No, I got 2 other shoes. What a mindset is that, right? Anyway, try it out if you haven't already. YouTube giving money away, social experiment, all sorts of stuff. Yeah, I had a day that was I had a lot of writing to do, research, a couple different areas, and research. And I found it was really well.
Is it me or does Jim sound like he's underwater?
Yeah, I think he just covered his speaker or his mic.
I think your microphone is covered up or something.
Just put maybe something in front of it.
No, it's right here. Hello.
It's better.
I feel like I got a 10-4. I got it.
Yeah, no, you did sound underwater for a second.
You're getting very sleepy. I had a nice day getting stuff done, but it did involve regular edible to stay at a certain mental peak, which it does, but there's limitations. So that's why I'm on the elbows up, sort of just smiling and listening right now. It was a productive day. The hard part. I'd rather do yard chores than anything. You know, the kind of thing that actually would be more physical work. It's the puzzles that everything is. Everything else is a puzzle. You know, I mean, hell, I thought I forgot that the bottom floors in like in committee room 4 at the annex there, that you can't. They're not actually windows to look out of. I forget when that happened. It wasn't even recently. But when you're outside where we are, you look over and you think, they can see, you know, that's the committee room, but they're not working visual windows. And the reason I found that out and reminded myself for sure is that the psilocybin committee meeting for the psilocybin bill 2283 was on, and that's a Scutari Vitelli sponsored bill. And I mean, you get those two names on a sponsored bill in the health committee going on that day. So I figure, okay. And I took the two Scutari signs that I had the last time we were there, and you know, with Vitelli on it. You know, Senator Scutari, get out of Senate Health Committee Chairman Vitelli's way and allow him to post S1393 now. You know, on one, and something else on the other side, because I thought this means I could go, if they work as windows, and you know, I'm like 90% sure they did and 90% wrong. And but I had it figured out that I could take those two signs and tape them up, but then you on the bottom, you know, I only tape the corners together, and then on the bottom on each side, so it's literally, it becomes a glove, because you can put your hand up, and now I got two decent size, you know, one each way, and it's like it's like, yeah, I solemnly swear to stand outside this window for the next 2 hours, whatever, you know, like pose. Because the idea of something going on and outside a window, you know, you could have that. And also when I support psilocybin therapy, S20, no, whatever number it was, I know I got it right. Then I figured, you know, I gotta see. I mean, I could come home for nothing but it was 25-minute ride, and you know, wearing a suit without a tie, so I could go walk in, you know, make sure, yeah, nothing to see here, and go. But then in the end, I felt better, like I passed some sort of cosmic test of some sort. Like, you know, do I still have it? See, the old Jim Miller, it would have been, it was like being on what we call the commando squad. We're always ready to go, you know, and something happens. Okay, I'm there. Yeah. And I remembered what it felt like. So at the end of that day, which was a very freaking short day, it didn't take that much time out of my day. I kind of got all jazzed up for the possibility, you know, of doing that. And I didn't, of course, think twice about, well, I'm here. No, I'm not ready to do anything better than that. And I'm a reputation. I can't just stand outside there with some sign that's somewhat unconnected. But, you know, it's, in the end, isn't it weird? You know, it obviously then wasn't a failure, not for me personally, because I ended up feeling like better about myself. Now, I didn't hesitate. I said, okay, I'm going. I don't want to. I don't like that. I don't say, oh boy, this is going to be fun. It's like, oh boy, I'd like to go, yay, somebody else do it, you know. But you know what I mean. You know, it's 221st was.
Mikey's going to like this.
What the hell?
Self-Care Awareness Month in New Jersey will be July. Angela McKnight's putting a bill through this month to make July Self-Care Awareness Month.
That's
this
funny.
Is great.
Hell
this
yeah.
is great.
Yeah, I like. Yeah. Well, see,
Whereas,
that's good, Noel, but that's like how many days worth of self-care? 31, 30 days? Yeah, 31. You do it every Sunday, you got 52. So
Self-care is a lifelong daily habit of making healthy lifestyle choices, practicing good hygiene, preventing infection and illness, avoiding unhealthy choices, monitoring for signs and symptoms of change in health, knowing when to consult a healthcare practitioner, knowing when it's appropriate for self-treat conditions. Whereas self-care also involves engaging in activities that promote well-being and reduce stress. This is great.
That's real shit right there.
Oh,
Whereas-
hell, man, you know how many lives are going to be helped by this? Is zero actually a number?
It's,
I think it is.
oh, Jim, that's good stuff.
Whereas,
But if you're only going to do it for
over-the-counter-
1 month, it's going to work against you if you don't do it for the other 11th.
Do at the end of the month. Go back to unhygienic life for another 11. Is that how it's designed to work? That's why I'm laughing. It's like, what are people go brushing their teeth going, oh, only 3 more days till I can stop doing this? Oh, I'm missing.
Whereas over-the-counter medical items such as bandages, menstrual products, face masks, and at-home test kits used for prevention, testing, and treatment, and cost savings for the healthcare system. I don't know what any of this is or what this means.
Oh my.
Yeah, the end of it just killed me there.
Well,
Yeah.
they had a study that says that if they can try to get to the root of most of these health conditions ahead of time with self-care, they think they're going to save money. But
Well, my self-care is cannabis. I think I was even explaining a moment ago how the keeping a steady oral intake when I have to keep my mind focused, when I got to be in my zone as much as I can for as long as I can, that works.
I don't know, man. I get torn between the whole concept of self-care because, it could also act as like, oh, well, this is why everything's so horrible because it's you to blame. It's not things around you. It's a scapegoat for like things being so bad. Like, oh, well, that's what it is. I need to take care of myself better because at the end of the day, ain't nobody taking care of nobody.
Well,
let's
self-care.
be real, that
Yes,
study
but-
was definitely not published publicly by a source that was not funded by the government. So,
You
At the end of the day, the biggest mental health crisis is that the whole medical industry is just for profit. That's the biggest problem.
I was saying before how the best self-care I gave myself that one day was playing my harmonica and giving $2 to somebody, smiling without need to say anything and making a person smile. And then in the end I say, but see, that makes me feel better. So it's all about me. So I take my best self-care is helping care for somebody else.
mm-hmm.
Which it gives me I call it an insurance policy.
See, that's just a whole interpretation of self-care. It goes back to how it suits, like what keeps you well. It feels good to take care of others. So that falls back into the self-care category for you.
Yeah, exactly.
I use the self-care category partially because part of it comes out of a frustration of not doing the things you're supposed to do for yourself, kind of thing. Going through being burned so many times, and stuff from relying on other people who were not trustworthy. Having people, trample all over you. It comes out of for me, it's used as a way to take the power back from the fact that you've been burned so many times. So it's kind of like a dark and heavy concept for me, to tell you the truth, because a lot of those things in self-care I don't do. I was doing the posting every Sunday because it was more important to project positivity because again, we're interacting with each other. If you put something negative out into the world, it's going to have a negative response, and it's not a good chain of command in terms of how energy is transferred. So projecting positivity to me has been an important thing because of how it's received. At the end of the day, Facebook especially, we communicate with each other so different how we used to. This is so different, this whole world. So it's all presentation. It's all presentation. Let's just be real. This is not real interaction. When you really know someone and you see how they post on Facebook, dude, it's always like, what? You know, because you know who they are.
Yeah.
This is just a medium that we're using to communicate. At the end of the day, we're all of our personalities are invented by ourselves from all the shit we've been through.
You know, that Self-Care Sunday, it was an interesting phrase to me, because I guess it goes back to 2005. Every Sunday, just about, I'm at the family house, you know, and it would do for other people what church does for them, or the regularity of that. And that was like, you know, my day. It still is. I mean, it always is. You know, it's like when I wake up on Sunday, it's like, oh, it's Sunday. It's whatever I want today. It's like a birthday every week, and other people, we all gather together, and, you know, and it's around a bong, and what do you got? What do you got? And a couple of beers. You know, that's traditional more than, hey, I really want a beer, but you know, it's tradition. So I go with it. It's so that's why it was always so much fun for me. Yeah, I mean, it's Self-Care Sunday, you know. I mean, and a lot of times it was just sitting on the front porch, bong out, and the front porch we expanded and created because we weren't going to do this in the backyard anymore. This is before legalization, you know, in New Jersey. It was just like a statement. No, we're going to gather in the front porch, and, you know, it's not like, hey, look what I got, you know. And people walk by, you know, we'll give them passage till we're doing what we do. But it is a good day to have, you know. But it's actually a long way between Sundays sometimes if there's a lot of stuff going on. You know, the carnival in the head gets pretty loud. Yep, got a carnival. All right, hey, I got to get going, have dinner before got a coalition second Tuesday of the month meeting tonight at 7. So I'm
that's
in between
great.
Zoom meetings. It's like, what the hell's happened to me? You know. Oh, but so what is it now in Edison? Are Zoom meetings happening or not? I kind of missed that in the whole mix today. You know,
Well, tomorrow is their meeting, so this will be their first meeting. Monday was just the workshop meeting. That's just when
right.
introduce new stuff. So we'll find this will be the follow-up meeting, Jim.
All right. I was just kind of curious, you know, they seemed earnest about, you know, making the change, which would, I like that, because having something to point at when they're doing Zoom meetings, it makes it a lot easier to rub that in other townships' faces, you know, as if it can't be done, you know.
You know what's wild? The whole thing with the Zoom access should be a no-brainer. But
it is.
Well, yeah, but what's interesting is it's all how like people are politically in line. So the reason why this is my opinion, the reason why Councilman Brescher and Councilman Hill, the reason why they were so open for it is because those are the only two council members who are not in the mayor's pocket.
Yeah,
so
you can
willing to speak out in favor of it, and I believe they actually are in favor of it.
Yeah.
Even if it was something that maybe they weren't, I think those two would be more inclined to speak out. They've done it in the past. This is a repeated pattern with those two speaking up in some regard over to the conduct of business, how things have been going, how things are proceeding. That has been obvious. I've watched all the meetings all year.
Within what I saw with Lefty's demonstration was the one with, he's got a point, you know. And when we started all that, when he tried to weasel it into, well, yeah, we could, okay, we have one more speaker, and then we could, well, no, we're doing them together now. I thought we did this separately.
Yeah,
no, why don't we do it separately? And he didn't say, I move to, you know, do this right now. He almost, it was slick. It was like, I thought that doesn't seem to be anybody's rules of order, you know?
Yeah, no, that dynamic you saw, that's been how it's been the whole time. That council president has been under strict orders to go with a certain thing, but he keeps meeting resistance, the proper resistance that each moment
that was good. That was good. It was nice. it's nice seeing that happen like in real time,
Heck
as
yeah.
opposed to and then what he said. They said something like, well, we can now, have a whatever kind of meeting. And he goes, well, you know what they say, that's having a meeting is where good ideas go to die. What did he
Subcommittee,
say?
no subcommittee.
Okay, no, subcommittee says that's where good ideas go to die.
Yeah, no subcommittee.
In other
Please.
words, no, let's not do that. Let's just talk about it now.
Yeah, the sad, and I'm not trying to like put that energy out there. It already exists. It's just how I'm interpreting it. I would love nothing more than Zoom access to be resumed, and just I've been telling Lefty this for a minute. If you can get one town to reverse their decisions on this, or just do what's right, or whatever you want to look at it, I'll be amazed. I don't think Edison will bring back Zoom. I don't think they're even going to change the camera angle. Things are going to keep going away. Things are going to keep being taken away. Nothing's going to be corrected. All the overcorrectness is happening in all the wrong areas in society. I don't believe any of these things are going to happen. I think more of our rights are going to fizzle away. More of our camera angles are going to go away. All of our lips being read are going to go away. All this stuff's going away. Bye, bye, bye. Like I keep saying, 2024, we're going to wish we all had this year again. We're not going to get any of this shit. It's not going to happen, and more stuff's going away. So I hope everybody's paying attention, because we've been saying this for a minute.
All right. Well, listen, I got to run.
See you later, Jim. Nice seeing you,
Jim.
bud.
Yeah, good.
Jim.
I love this sort of gathering. It's really nice and low key. I can see everybody I'm talking to.
Vibe sessions are where they're at, man.
Yeah, I mean it's a great little get together each time. So I'll have more energy next time. That's a guess. That's not a prediction. It's just a guess. We'll see. But yeah,
So
really, I got
tomorrow's Edison.
rehouse some coffee before the coalition one, because I'm gonna have something to eat before that, and then after, I'm gonna have to set an alarm for 7 o'clock to get up for the meeting. I have something to eat right now. All right, listen, man.
Enjoy dinner.
All right.
Yeah, go ahead,
Right across the board. You. And that's another thing. You couldn't see that would have ruined some of Lefty's shit if you couldn't see him and the talking and the Edison thing, because that was the best part. And then when he, you could see who he was pointing to. And you.
Yeah, even what you just said now, Jim, the best part of this whole meeting was you being able to see all of us. Like you just said, I can see all of one of you. Yeah,
Sure,
that's all gone away, apparently, now.
It makes it way more real, and your mind isn't like going to imagery. It's like right in front of you, Not to mention, it's and sometimes better than being in an actual meeting, because I can look at anybody I want directly in their face and they don't know I'm staring at them, So like, especially like on a coalition meeting, if there could be like a dozen people, 15 people, sometimes less, a lot. But when I say something, I can tell it's like you can gauge the reaction really, really good. You might wonder, oh, how's he going to like this? And I'm looking somebody right in the face and I say something, and you can notice a little inflection, a tightness, a slight smile of approval, the littlest things, it's really good. It's, I like that. And yeah, geez, I can even, if I go video off for a while, I don't know, I can say whatever I want. I get all ready, and then I'm back on eating. I got to say, the one time I had a court meeting like that where I was having a beer at the same time, it was kind of fun. It's off camera, just you get scared if you're gonna have a smoke and a beer at a courtroom hearing. How many times I looked at the microphone and it was off, and oh God, that's good, because I'd be mouthing off of that. I like raise my blood pressure every 2 minutes doing that, but that's the nature of the beast, I had to have a picture too. I mean, somewhere I got a picture. I had to take a picture of me at court.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump off too. I'm gonna get something to eat. But hey, Mikey, I'm gonna go to Harvest Fest. I'm not really feeling well to do that, to drive that far. and I might come to Trenton. So if you need help in Trenton,
Oh, word, yeah.
like the
Yeah,
boombox or whatever.
that would be awesome if you did that. I mean, yeah.
I'm
Okay.
probably just gonna go to Trenton and chill. So if you need help, let me know. I'm probably just gonna come and chill anyway. So
Word, definitely.
Yeah. I can bring the
Right.
speaker, the little speaker, the Bluetooth speaker, whatever you need.
Yeah, absolutely. That'd be awesome.
All right, Lefty, Bear, Paco, Mikey. I'll talk to you later on.
All right, guys.
All right,
Yeah, I'm going. All right. Have a good night, everybody. It was nice chatting.
Good night, everybody.
Have a
Hey,
good
fellas.
night, guys.
Well.